The man's face was covered in sand, but he didn't dare wipe it off with his hands. He was even careful with his breathing, because behind him was a cliff. If he slipped and fell, he would surely be smashed to pieces. He gripped the sand tightly, but the almost vertical cliff couldn't support his weight. Seeing that he was about to fall off the cliff, he dug his fingers into the sand and spread his legs wide, just barely saving himself. But his strength was limited, and if he stayed like this, he wouldn't last for more than a few minutes. What awaited him was death. Just then, his phone rang from inside his backpack. This gave him the courage to keep going. He decided to reach for the backpack, but as soon as his hand left the ground, his body began to slide. Luckily, at the last second, he managed to grab the edge with both hands. He had to abandon the phone and use his body to brace against the ground. It didn't help much. He was so terrified he couldn't move, afraid that he would fall. Now, he could only express his fear through the look on his face. He heard the sound of waves crashing behind him. Suddenly, a bold idea crossed his mind. He realized that every time he counted to 80, the waves would crash against the rocks. This might be his only chance to survive. At the count of 80,
8.
the man jumped straight off the cliff. He fell smoothly into the sea. The impact of the water hit his waist, but there was no time for pain. He swam furiously toward the surface. When his head finally broke through the water, he thought he was saved. He quickly climbed onto a rock. But as soon as he stood up, a sharp pain shot through his waist.